Hey, it's Reimers back for month 33. This video is actually like a couple, maybe like 12 hours late. Sorry about that. But we're here, dude. The final stretch. So, if you guys don't know, I am going to Korea for my study abroad, February 22nd. So the next time you'll hear from me, I will have been in Korea for like a week and a half, which is crazy to think about, right? Like, we're coming up on 3 years, which is quite a long time. And I feel really good. Genuinely, I feel quite good. I'm going to talk about how things went this month and kind of, but I think the kind of like TLDR all in 1 second is, I feel prepared. I feel like I'm going to have fun. I think obviously there's still a lot to learn, but I think I remember, 3 months ago or 6 months ago, or maybe even before, talking about how I was very scared that when I went, I would have this feeling of like, oh man, I wish I had like tried harder. I wish I had studied more. I could have made better friends. And I think I'm at the point where I won't feel that. Like, of course, if I was better, I probably could be even more natural and I probably could make friends even faster or like talk about more things. But I think I'm past the point where I can like reasonably talk with most people about like a bunch of normal topics. And of course, I'm going to learn a lot of new topics. And given that, also, instead of studying, I was doing a lot of like really important shit that I actually cared about. I actually think like I'm very kind of pleased with the outcome of my skill level. Like I actually think I'm pretty good. So yeah, okay, let's get into this month. The big thing was mining kind of fell off. So with Anki, and some of these are kind of fucked up because I was on the East Coast, and so I was doing the reviews, like because the time zone shifted. Like if I set my computer clock to East Coast time, then these would be filled in. But anyways, so I did like do it every day, but it's like because of the time zone. But anyways, you could see in the last week, my stats really kind of went down in terms of the reviews, just because, where is the chart? Oh, you can't see. Yeah, mining became so fucking hard, bro. Mining became so fucking hard. And there's a couple reasons for that. So one is I've just been like immersing less. One is like me being kind of lazy. Like I was like really locked in and then was kind of lazy. And also just like other shit's like going on. Like, work is really fun. Hanging out with my friends is pretty fun. There's a lot of like hobbies I'm interested in. And mining like really felt like a chore. Like really it was like, holy shit, I have to get 20. And like, dude, 20 cards a day is intense, bro. Like finding 20 cards. Anyways, and so this week, and I'll kind of get to this near the end, but I was basically just like, I'm not going to fucking force myself to do that. I mean, I don't know. I was basically like, I'd rather keep doing just the Anki reviews with no new cards than stop doing Anki. So, but yeah, I switched to startup for a bit, like the drama, and that kind of made it easy again. Like with 1920, like I was really kind of like running out of words, and I wasn't running out of words. Like there were no words I didn't know, but I was running out of like the common words. Like I was really, really heavily going by the frequency list in Migaku because the thinking was like, hey, if I only have, X number of days before I go to Korea, like I should pick the best words, right? Like I shouldn't pick this like random word that I'm only going to learn one time and then never see again for 2 years, but I should pick the very common words. And so there are only so many of these. And anyways, by the end of 1920, I basically learned all of the like words on the frequency list, because you can filter by that in Migaku, that I'd learned all the words on the frequency list that were kind of like coming up in 1920. And so when I switched to startup, once again, there were a lot of like kind of new words, but a lot of these ones were honestly probably less useful than some of the words, even though they were on the frequency list, because they were like very like drama words, right? Like there were lots of like business words, and they were like very formal words. And like, honestly, kind of thinking back, like if I like went back in my 1920, and just was like, okay, I'm just going to, I mean, the thing is, without the frequency list, it's really hard to know which words are like the words that are worth learning. I mean, maybe you can like, if you see them come up again and again, but it wasn't like, oh, I can just passively mine. It was like, I need to find 20 words every day, right? Anyways, that was quite hard. But yeah, this was an interesting example of domains where like startup is obviously a very different domain. When I'm speaking, and I've done a lot of speaking, like I just like talk on the phone with people all the time. Definitely feel the system 1 versus system 2 stuff. So I describe it as like every time you speak, you like start running, and like half the time you just like take off, and then half the time, right as you're about to like take your first step, you like look down, and you like realize the floor like isn't as stable as you thought it was, and you have to like hold onto the railing and kind of like tiptoe, right? And so like there are some times when I say things and it just comes out, and I know it's natural. I'm not even like concerned because I know it's natural because it just comes out. And then there are times when you have to like think and then it comes out. And then there's times where, like I said, you think and then even then it doesn't come out. But I think like the like thinking is like the system 1, right? You have to like, you're like, oh, like, how do I say this? What do people say in this situation? Now, when you think and it doesn't come out, like you think a lot and then it doesn't come out, like obviously that's pretty bad. But to me, honestly, like internally, it like feels just as bad as thinking and then it comes out, because I've like kind of put in my head so much that like if it doesn't come out instantly, then like that's a problem, right? And yeah, so like the moment you realize that, the moment you like look down, right, and you realize the floor is kind of uneasy, that feels kind of bad. But you know, that's how it goes. Yeah, language is kind of like a video game sometimes. You know, you like sometimes. I think I like feel this most when, yeah, you like say something and you're like, damn, I killed that. I used that sick word that I learned last week. Oh yeah. Or, yeah, when you see someone else do it, right? Like sometimes with my tutor, I'll be like, oh, like, how would you say this? And I'll say it. I'll be like, damn, that was like so obvious. Like that was completely 100% correct. And of course it's correct because like he's a native speaker. Anyways, I've been watching the new Singles Inferno. I was also rewatching the old ones on my vacation over New Year's, and yeah, this might be the most beautiful spot someone has ever watched Singles Inferno. Anyways, Hello Talk. Yeah, I was spending a lot of time on Hello Talk earlier in the month, so it was actually really bad. But I stopped. But I literally had to like take it off my phone. And I do think this one's probably the most interesting one, where it's like the friends I've like made online like probably are not going to matter very much compared to the IRL friends I make, but like, you know, they can like kind of seed the IRL friends, right? Like if you have like truly no one to hang out with. The thing with Hello Talk is like texting is just like, I don't know, kind of a shitty medium, and like it leads to a lot of talking in English. I don't know, I've been doing a lot of like mom stuff, and that's been more fun. And also I think I'm like pretty good. Like I like have like kind of semi-regular conversations. And what else? Okay, moving on. These are the same thing. This dark R letter, I think. So this was from, let me pull up the comment. Give me a sec here. Sorry, guys. Okay, so this was from, what is your name? There we go. Okay. Swirling Crystal. Swirling Crystal, thank you very much, sincerely. I've really struggled with, and I still kind of struggle with Oreo. I still kind of struggle with it, but definitely this like dark R, light R thing was kind of an unlock. I was like, me and my tutor were going over this a lot. And you can definitely feel the difference, right? Like, with like, ol and ol. Like sometimes my tutor, he'll like have me do, like if you say like pan, right? Pan. And you can almost like, you're almost like sticking your tongue like out of your mouth. It's like really up against the front of your teeth, really flat. Pan, pan, pan. And then that's where the real is as well. Pal, 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 pal. Versus pal, pal. Where it's like all the way in the top of the back of your mouth. Pal, 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 pal. So words like, yeah, 판료, 판료, 설령, 설령, 간약, 간약, 물류, 물류, 물류. I mean, but there I'm kind of doing it's not 물류, it's 물류. 살려. Anyways, I thought this was pretty useful. I still can't say 어울려요. Or I still can't do it. Like I when like native people say it, it's like, oh my god, like it's obviously that's how you say it. But still working on it. For Anki, I turned off, like when you review an Anki, I don't know if you like can see the number of cards left, and then also like when you pick correct or wrong, you can see the time duration. And basically that was like super changing the way I would answer the cards. Like or like I would be like, oh man, like, because if I like didn't like, if I like kind of knew it but it was like only like 3 days, I would like probably say yes. But if I like kind of knew it but it was like 3 months, I would like say no. And like it was just like, I don't think that's how you should be like ranking your cards. It should just kind of be like a standard. And then the other thing was like watching the numbers. I would be like kind of waiting for it to be over so I could like see the numbers. And so anyways, I turned both of those off. I think you can do it in the settings. Yeah, I think these two. I just turned them off. Moving on. I think this is interesting. So there are things that like I know for sure I have never said. Actually, this one I said 10 day recently. But a lot of these like forums, and there's probably more, I've like literally never said in my entire life. Notta, duda. This one I said once. Yeah, borida. I mean like 잊어버리라. 드시, I don't think I've ever said. 길래, I've definitely never said. 달라고, I think maybe I've said like once or twice. That's the other thing, right? Like you don't say 달라고 like all the time. But anyways, there are definitely, I do think that things I know I've literally never said is a pretty good metric for what I like still don't understand. And yeah, like 테니까, I don't feel like I have like an amazing read on 길래 as well. 말리다, I like halfway. What's next? Okay. Yeah, I do this a lot. This is just like bad in general, which is basically when you don't understand, it's like I've talked about this in the past. It's like the worst feeling. Like, it just absolutely ruins a conversation when you're like, trying to like have this conversation. It's like flowing, and then you just like, you're like, oh, right, oh, ing, right? Like you like, what do you say? Like, can you say that again? Like, can you slow down? What does that mean? And so your brain kind of implicitly, because that's uncomfortable, you just like want to avoid it. So what do you do, right? Well, when they say something, you just like pretend to understand, basically. And this is a terrible habit because, what's worse than like having a conversation that doesn't really flow? It's like having a conversation where you feel like the person's ignoring you. And it's like the other person, like usually like they know you're like a, language learner. And so if you kind of ignore them, they'll just like they'll be like, oh, he probably didn't understand what I said. But it's like, yeah, I've definitely been in conversations where they like said something and I just like didn't understand it and I didn't say anything. And then they're like, like, what the fuck? Like, just like, I like said that, like, what are you, hello? Are you there? Yeah, probably a bad habit. But also, yeah, I think I could just do better at like, you have to be really, you have to like force yourself to be like, hey, like, I didn't understand that. I'm sorry. I didn't understand that. Right. Okay. Uncanny Valley. I don't know if you guys have watched Business Proposal. The like male lead, there's like a couple scenes where he speaks English and it's like super uncanny valley. But what's interesting about it, I just thought it was so interesting. I remember like showing my Korean tutor this, was that he like sounds like good, right? Like if you asked like most Korean people, they'd be like, yeah, he has like very good English, right? But undoubtedly it's not perfect, right? Like it's still kind of off. And what's so interesting is there are people who have truly perfect English, right? Like, or maybe not perfect, but like 99% perfect, right? Like my tutor, right? When he speaks, it sounds unbelievably natural, right? Or I got a couple like Instagram reels of this like Korean Instagram English teacher, and she just like sounds, exactly like an American. And I think what's so interesting is like, even though the like Business Proposal guy like has like a good accent, right? If you took him and the like some of these other speakers and you asked random people on the streets in America who sounded more natural, they would say these people every single time, right? So there's something like so subtle that's the difference. And anyways, I'm like kind of scared that I'm ending up in this like kind of uncanny valley. Sometimes I think I sound really good, and sometimes I think I sound like good, but like kind of not perfect. But you know, we're gonna do. I remember telling my tutor this, and he was like, "Dude, like, bro, I've been learning English for like 10 years, dude. Like, you're like, you know, you're only been speaking for like a year." And this is true. This is true. And also, I've never spent time in Korea, so we'll see. Multiple friends I talked to said I got better in the last few months, which, by the way, I think is very true. I think my vocabulary has definitely expanded a lot. I think my speaking, speaking ability has like gone a lot better. And confidence has gone a lot better, which is great. I talked a little about this earlier. Anki was just kind of like burdensome, like mining new words was really hard. The phonetic stuff I kind of like stopped doing as well. I think I just kind of got lazy. I think honestly that's on me, but I've been trying a slightly new phonetic style where instead of doing like the super micro like over and over in Audacity, I had with my tutor. And oh, by the way, or I'll talk about this in a sec. So I had like these videos, and basically what we did was like, so in Migaku, you can turn on like this like mode where you pause after subtitles, and then you could like just play, and then if you click the down arrow, it replays it. See this one, like here, let me do like one I did earlier. Or that was.
안녕하세요 요요요요요. 오늘 한 끼도 안 먹었어 지금.
오늘 한 끼 안 먹었어 지금.
오늘 한 끼도 안 먹었어 지금.
오늘 한 끼 안 먹었어 지금.
네, 첫 끼.
네, 첫 끼. 움직였다 먹어야겠다. What is he saying?
네, 첫 끼.
아무지게 먹어야겠네. Anyways, so basically like doing a video, no subtitles. I think the subtitles kind of ruin this. No subtitles, and then you just kind of like have it like stops. It pauses after every subtitle, and then you say it, and then you have like the tutor listen to you and like be like, okay, and then you go to the next one, and you go to the next one, and then he's kind of like checking off on them. And then I would say the what's really hard about this exercise for me is I want to say it's like short-term memory, right? Like you like hear something and then you like go to say it back, and it's not even like you like know what you want to say, but you like can't even like remember what the line was. But I think that's really the comprehension, right? So there's like comprehension, then short-term memory, then ability to produce a sound, right? And the thing is, it feels like short-term memory is the issue, but actually I think it's you really just didn't understand what they said. Because when there's like a line, but I like completely understand it, it's not really like, oh man, I like can't remember it. It's like, oh, like it's like kind of easy. And then it's like, oh, can you reproduce it effectively? But anyways, I kind of like this exercise. I want to talk about some of my workflows. So for condensing audio, I have this like script which runs, I'll put it in the description. I'll put the stuff in the description. Yeah, the script that runs like some like FFmpeg, like I don't know, command. I didn't write it. I like forked it off some GitHub thing that like loops over all the videos in a folder and then condenses them, and then I send that to this app on my phone called what's it called? MUZIQI. This is the like audio app I use. It like, so I put the audio files in my iCloud drive, and then you can like link an iCloud drive to this app, and then it's like kind of like a nice MP3 player. Migaku's been pretty amazing for mining. Like I genuinely do not know how people mine before Migaku. Like I just wouldn't have done it. It would have been so fucking hard, or like the card quality would have been so shit. But yeah, like I like all these people like 10 years ago, it sounded really terrible. So thank you Migaku for making great software. And then Chrome extensions, I've made a couple custom Chrome extensions like this one, which is like, I had this like subtitle hider thing, but it was a desktop app, and it was really fucking annoying because you would have to like tab, like if it was like a different context in the browser window, right? So it was like kind of like detached. But I made this thing called subtitle hider, and I literally just had Claude code this up, and then you can go to like manage extensions and if you turn on developer mode, then load unpacked, you can load a local extension. And I will put this in the description as well. And it's like super sick. It's super sick. So you can like drag it around. And if you like click, you can peek. And if you click H, you can reveal it. And yeah, AI is amazing. So, and what's also great about this is the other one, it would be it wouldn't work in full screen. But this one totally does. I mean, you have to move it, but then it works in full screen. Super freaking sick, dude. AI is amazing. Okay. So yeah, so I remember here on this one, I remember at the start of the lock-in, like 2 months ago, I was like, I wonder how I'm going to feel. Like right now, I feel really optimistic because I have 3 months and I can like make so much progress in 3 months. I was like, I wonder how I'm going to feel when there's, only like 3 weeks left. And it's like, as good as I am now is basically as good as I'm going to be when I get there. Right. And obviously like you could like, if you do 20 words a day for 3 more weeks, that's like 400 words. That's a lot of words. And I'm also like currently not learning words. Like there's still obviously, and like, even when you get there, you can always be making progress, but let's say I went today, or maybe like actually one of the reasons I like have been more willing to kind of let myself off the hook with Anki is because I'm very content with my level. Like I actually feel very good. I talk with friends regularly. I feel like I can like talk to people, go places. I'm very curious how that kind of, obviously there's going to be a lot of like real life like situations that I'm not used to, right? Like, ordering in a restaurant. I've like never done that before, or going on the like subway or something. I don't even know. But I also feel like very confident in my ability to, just talk with people and learn new words and like express myself when I didn't understand something, or have people explain things to me, or I just like feel pretty good. I think like there is like when I talked to Matt versus Japan, right? When he went to Japan, he was like fluent. Like, you could literally say whatever he wanted. But I think it's kind of fun to go when you're not completely fluent, right? Because I think like to get fluent before ever going is like actually really hard. Like it's actually really hard. Like I think to do that without ever being in the country or even like visiting. It's also kind of like a check-in, right? Like let's say I go and I just like absolutely hate it, right? Like I don't have to waste my time anymore. I can just stop learning Korean, right? Or it's not like it's wasting my time, but yeah. And so yeah, I think it's like completely. I think it's like are there people who achieved a higher level in 3 years? Of course, there are people who achieved a higher level in 3 years, but also they were probably like spending way more time than me, and I was like doing other shit. And so I think for 3 years, I'm very happy with where I'm at. I think it's like if you had told me this is where I would be when I started, I'd be like, damn, that's like actually pretty impressive. And I think it will really, I'm really hoping that this will kind of pay dividends during my trip. And yeah, it's kind of weird to think about like, I've been doing this for 3 years. I'm finally going. But I feel good. I'm pretty happy. And I think that's a good place to be. I don't think you want to be in a place where you have a lot of hatred for yourself, or regret. So, went down how it went down. I think I'm very glad I did the lock-in the last 2 months. I think that really helped a lot, honestly. And I'm excited to go, and I really just want to. I really want to also have no regrets when I go there, right? Like I really want to feel like I'm spending my time in the right ways and hanging out with the people I want to hang out with and having the experiences and really just doing new things. So I guess, I'll keep making the videos. So I'll let you guys know how it goes. So to end here, I wanted to do a little speaking demo. I think the last time I did this was like, I don't know, like maybe 4 or 5 months ago. So I'd hope I got a little bit better. I literally did not prep anything. So completely unscripted. I'm just going to kind of talk. And yeah. Alright. 그럼요. 안녕하세요, 여러분. 오늘 드디어 한국어 얘기하는 모습 보여드릴까요? 그래서 요즘에는 그 친구들이랑 그 한국어 촌화 연습 많이 하고 그 전화하는 거 솔직히 엄청 재밌어요. 엄청 재밌어요. 그 마음 아플 많이 쓰고 그 새로운 친구 만나고 그 전화하고 그래서 그 전화 같이 하는 친구들은 그 한국 하면 그 만났으면 좋겠어요. 솔직히 그 만난 친구들은 그 많은 도시에 살거든요. 그 당연히 서울 많고 근데 그 지방도 그 친구 있어요. 그 포항, 대구, 대전, 부산 이런 곳에 그 친구에 살아요. 그래서 한국 갈 때 그 친구는 how do I say, like, if I go to meet with them, like I'll explore lots of different cities when I meet with them. 아무튼 그 제가 한국어 말하면 보통은 솔직히 그 조금 잘 하는데 엄청 서툴 느낌, 서툴 느낌. 그 이제도 그 pause 그 많아요. 그 천천히 그 말하는 거 많아요. 그런데 그 당연히 그 말하기보다 얘기하기 아무튼 말 트는 거 더 잘요. 이제 나쁜 그 좋지 않은데요. 아무튼 3년 동안 그 공부하는 거는 엄청 재밌어요. 그 다들 그 제가 영상 만들고 그 다들 보여주는 거 엄청 재밌어요. 그 예상보다 진짜 망했다 진짜. 아무튼 okay, I'll call it there. 여러분 너무 how do you even say? I know. Anyways, yeah, so dude, I'm so fucking cooked. Anyway, sometimes I feel really good and sometimes it's just like kind of a mess. But I think I hope that was kind of like a genuine, just like me talking. So yeah, sometimes it's not very good. But I think just for context, I've had phone calls where I like don't feel that way. Like I feel like it's very naturally flowing. But anyways, yeah, hopefully when I go, I can do more of these demos and like you guys will see me like get better because I'll be there and just be talking to people. But anyways, thank you very, very much for watching and continuing to watch for all this time. And like I said, the next time I talk to you guys, it will be from Korea. So thanks so much. And I hope everyone has a beautiful February. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.